friends, welcome back to another bookish video. Today is going to be my November wrap-up and December TBR, so let's get into it. The first book that I read in November was For Whom the Book Tolls by Laura Gale Black, and I didn't enjoy this book as much as I was hoping to. I like cozy murder mysteries, but this one, it was a little too cozy, if that makes sense. But in this one, this down on her luck girl arrives in a new town where her uncle lives, and he's invited her to stay to get back on her feet. And when she gets there, she finds that he has been murdered. The cops think it's her because he left her an outrageous fortune in his will. The book is about her trying to prove her innocence to the town and the police and solve the murder of her uncle. Honestly, it sounds more exciting than what it was. Again, if you like cozy, sweet books, then, you might enjoy this one. But this was a little too cozy for me, a little too gumdrop sweet. And I rated that a 2. The next book I read was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I freaking love Taylor Jenkins Reid. But this book was so hard to get through. And not because it's bad. I rated it a 4. It was hard to get through because it was so emotional. If you're going through a tough time in your relationship, maybe pass on this one for that time. It is so good. It's about a couple who have been together about 6 or 7 years. They decide that they've kind of fallen out of love with each other and they're taking each other for granted. So they decide to take a year away from each other. They can't contact each other during this year. They can date and do whatever they want to during this year. In this book, it follows the wife, and she's learning what does marriage mean to her? What does it mean to her friends and her family? And what's the secret to a successful relationship? Is she doing the right thing? Are they going to end up divorced because they couldn't just fight through it? It is a very emotional book, and if you can handle it, definitely check it out. The next book I read was The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. And fun fact, Rachel Hawkins is from a town that I'm near, and she used to teach at the local high school. But anyway, this book is about a case of a rich little girl who goes missing, and then 8 months later she's found living with these poor people in the South, and they had supposedly kidnapped her. And the book is about, was she really kidnapped, or did the rich people just kind of take her back? Like, is this the original girl, or is this the poor person's daughter like they claimed? The twists in this book were shocking, and I rated that one a 5-star. That book was twisty, curvy. It had all the stuff. I love this book. 5 stars. Definitely check that out. The next book I read was Welcome to Camp Nightmare, which is an R.L. Stine book. I don't care that I'm 38. It's nice to read an R.L. Stine book every now and again. They're just fun. And for me in particular, they're nostalgic. So suck it. I don't care. This one, if you're wondering, is about a boy whose parents send him to a summer camp. And at this summer camp, kids are going missing. Kids are getting injured, like there's snake bites. There's supposedly a monster in the woods. And it's just a what's going on book. And it has a really creepy vibe. I didn't rate that. Again, if you want to understand how I rate things, check out my video on how I do my reading log. And I'll post that in the description. That foundation is not working good with that. Okay, well, that's fun. Fun for me. Okay. Don't know if you can see that, but Peyton broke my contour stick, so we're just going to do the best that we can with it. The next book I read was Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. And this was a nonfiction book, which, I knew that going into it. Honestly, I didn't love it. Yeah, it was about zombies, and I love zombies, and the zombie apocalypse is fun to read about, but again, with this being a nonfiction book, it really wasn't about the zombies. It was more a survival guide. And yes, I know that it says that in the title. I know. It's not like I expected anything different. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I was wanting more of a zombie horror book, not a this is how you can basically survive any situation. I mean, the tips were useful, don't get me wrong, just not what I was wanting in a book. And I rated that 3 stars. The next book I read was The Chaperone by M. Hendricks. This book is one that really makes you think. It's about a society in the near future where women are basically second-class citizens. They are only expected to have a basic education, get married, and have babies. That's all that they're seen for. This book follows a girl who rebels against that society, and the girls have a chaperone that follows them from the time of puberty because they can never be alone for their safety. The girl's chaperone actually encourages her to think for herself and rebel against this society. She's encouraging her in that. And this book, again, it makes you think, it makes you question. It was a particularly really good book, very juicy. And I rated that 4 stars. The next recommendation is going to be Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell. And I'm surprised it took me this long to read this book because I love Rainbow Rowell. But this book was the ultimate YA meet cute love story. It had everything. It had drama, it had first love, it had trauma, like it had everything. This book was so unbelievably good. There is some mention of, I don't know if I would say child abuse or SA, but abuse. So just like go into it knowing that. The story of Eleanor in Park is absolutely so sweet. I cannot believe it took me this long to read the book. This book was printed in 2012 and it is still hyped up today, and I absolutely understand why. This book was everything. I don't know why my eyeshadow is doing that. Lovely, lovely. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. Blending it out. And I rated that one a 4 star. I'm trying to be more selective with my 5 stars, but definitely 4.5 stars. Next recommendation is going to be We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaware. I hope I'm saying that right. I wasn't expecting to get this book this month, but I'm so glad that I did. And this book is being hyped everywhere. And it's not bad. It's not a bad book. It's definitely not worth the hype to me. I mean, I guess if you like sci-fi or the Mandela effect or Reddit forums, creepypasta, that kind of thing, like the back rooms, you might enjoy this. Almost science fiction-y. I'm not a science fiction person. As far as the story was interesting. There was a little bit of a plot, but it was more like spooky stuff's happening, we don't know why. It veered into science fiction and lore too much for me. There wasn't much of a story, and so I didn't enjoy it as most of the people seem to be enjoying it. Like, it's getting a lot of hype, and again, if you like that kind of thing, I can understand it, but it just wasn't for me. So I rated that 3 stars. Again, not bad, not the greatest book in the world. The last book I read is The Christmas Cookie Bake Off by Darcy Hannah, and this is the second book in her Beacon Bake Shop series. Again, I plan to read this series slowly. It's a very seasonal series. Like the last book was a spring book and I read it at Halloween time. Wasn't the best time to read it. But this one was a Christmas one. Definitely had to read it this time of year. This seems to be a very seasonal series, so I will read it at the appropriate times. That being said, this book is another cozy mystery set in this little small town, following the owner of this converted lighthouse that is now a bake shop. And it is just cozy, sweet, small town vibes. I love it. It's just the quintessential cozy murder mystery. And unlike For Whom the Book Tolls, there was plot, there was story, there was something you could kind of sink your teeth into. So that's why I like this series more than that series. The month of November, I read 9 books, and my overall ratings were 1 5-star, 3 4-star, 3 3-star, 1 2-star, 0 1-star, and 1 unrated book. In the monthly stats, I read 1 book less than last month and about 400 pages less than last month. Still not my worst reading month. My worst reading month looks like it was September, and if you watch that video, you'll understand why. That was not a good month. Let's pop on some mascara. Oh my God, I just noticed my shirt. Oh no. Darn powder getting everywhere. Oh goodness. This is the final look. Thank you for watching my November wrap up. Oh, my December TBR. For December, I'm wanting to read Silent Night by R.L. Stein. I'm wanting to read Love Light Farms. I'm hoping to get that. I have it on hold. I'm hoping it'll become available this month, fingers crossed, because I really want to read that book. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Fingers crossed I can read all 3 of those in the month of December. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.